Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. I've got a little mini haul from Valley Produce and then a little bit of a bigger haul from Caputo's. But at Caputo's we ended up spending just under 20 bucks in total for the dinner stuff. So we got 2 pizzas. In all honesty, we maybe only needed to get one because I wasn't even thinking, like, it's not me, Matthew, Jack, and my dad. Matthew's not here anymore, and my mom, we got her something separate. Even though she's asleep right now and didn't ask for it, we got her what we got her last time, like for dinner tonight, because they normally have their $6 pizzas at Caputo's, and so we ended up getting those. But my mom doesn't like to eat the pizzas, so we ended up getting her a meatloaf dinner, which was $7. And like I said, the last time we got it, like, we got 2 pizzas and we still had leftovers with Matthew. And so I was just thinking about that now. I was like, we actually probably only needed 1 pizza because they're pretty good size, like, deli pizzas. So like I said, we spent about 50 bucks in total between both stores, but about 20 of that was pretty much just on, like, dinners for tonight. And again, we'll have tons of leftovers most likely actually for tomorrow as well, from the pizza. So that will probably go for lunch and maybe even dinner too tomorrow, now that, like I said, I'm thinking about that. And the problem is that, like, I was like, oh well, maybe we could just throw one back in the fridge, but probably don't have room. It's easier if it's already cooked and we can just reheat it in the microwave ourselves. So share with you guys Valley Produce. We ended up only spending $12.13 after tax. So we ended up spending only $12.13 after tax at Valley Produce. And those are the pizzas. Those are going to go in the oven right now. Jack's taking care of that. But at Valley Produce we ended up picking up 2 things of the 6-count Pop-Tarts. These are $1.49, which is cheaper than what, like, it is for the 12-pack at Aldi, or these are the 8-count, I think. The 12-pack at Aldi, I think it's $2.50, and I figured out per Pop-Tart it's actually cheaper to get these. So we went ahead and picked up 2 packages of these. It was a limit of 2. We also ended up picking up some of the Eckrich ham, which was $3.49 a pound. And then also we got 3 ears of corn, which were on sale. I think they were 98 cents for 3 or something like that. But for the 3 that we ended up picking up, those were 49 cents. And then we also ended up picking up the green bell peppers were 48 cents per pound. We paid 59 cents for 3 of them. And then cauliflower was on sale for 69 cents a pound. We paid $1.16 for that. And then I also got 3 chicken Kievs just for dinners in the future. Those were on sale for 99 cents, which I think is like the same price as Aldi, or Aldi's might be like 109 or something like that. And then at Caputo's, like I said, we got the 3 pizzas, which are normally $8.99 for the cheese, but on like I was saying, on Fridays they are $6 each. So we went ahead and picked up 2 of those, and then, like I was saying, we got my mom a meatball dinner, which was $7. And then we also got the Sara Lee oven roasted turkey breast was $4.99 a pound, and the Land O'Lakes American cheese was $3.99 a pound. We got about a half pound of that. And then eggs were 99 cents. We picked up a dozen of those. And then the produce, we ended up getting bananas were 39 cents per pound. We paid $1.55 for the bunch we got. Honeycrisp apples were on sale for $1.49, and we ended up paying $4.96. I got 6 of them. And then we also got organic lettuce was $1.50, and then avocados were 25 or 50 cents each. I got 4 for $2. Seedless cucumber, which is actually right over there, it was 50 cents. And then lastly, we ended up getting the broccoli, which was 99 cents a pound, and we paid $1.01 for that. So again, that was like a real tiny little haul from Valley Produce. We did not wind up getting too much. I was like, we'll probably actually be pretty good and not spend that much money on the 2 stores, but again, spending almost the 20 bucks, like, we would have been probably only 30 or so if we wouldn't have gotten, like, the pizzas and stuff. But I didn't have anything ready to cook for dinner tonight, which I probably could have. I actually woke up early today, so I could have gotten to that. I didn't end up throwing anything in the slow cooker this morning. I sort of forgot. And also too, I need to figure out a little bit what we have out there, because I feel like I've been making the same, like, things over and over and over again. And so So yeah, I was just like, you know what, I know it's $6 pizzas, and my mom was gone earlier, so I sort of thought that she ate already, and so I was like, oh, like we can just, you know, like we don't have to get her anything. But then I was like, I don't know, but she's asleep right now, so I haven't even been able to ask her or tell her that we got this for her. So if not, she can have it for dinner tomorrow, where we can just have leftover pizza. So again, like 20 bucks for 2 nights of dinners is like $10 a night. I don't think that that's horrible. Like if we would have gotten takeout tonight and or takeout tomorrow, then it would have been way more money than that. So again, I feel like I said, under 20 bucks for 2 dinners is not bad. So yeah, I'm gonna get some of this stuff put away now, but I thought I'd share with you guys a little grocery haul, and then we'll probably do Jewel and Aldi actually tomorrow in the morning, because of my dad has to go to a golf outing. He's actually going to be gone later in the afternoon, so we're going to do that most likely tomorrow in the morning, but I still don't have my Jewel list finished, so I need to do that first. So I will share with you guys those hauls in tomorrow's vlog. Well guys, I am going to take a shower and get to bed now. I made my list for Jewel, so we can go tomorrow. Actually, there's a lot of sort of deals going on at Jewel tomorrow. So I will share that haul with you guys. Hopefully I find everything works out and all that. But while I was making my Jewel list, I was trying to decide on what music to listen to while I was doing that, and I was on Spotify, and I knew that they already have like a decades category, and so I was listening to, I went through and was like, what do I want to listen to, because I have like playlists from just about every decade, like all the way back to like probably as old as you can listen to music still, and like that was like 30 sort of, and some of the songs that I have, and so but I think I have that combined with the 40s, and then I have a 50s playlist, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I don't have a 90s. A while ago, me and Matthew and Jack were all sitting around like, what was the most popular song from like each decade, or like popular like 10 songs or 20 songs or whatever, and honestly I probably knew most of them from almost every decade except for the 90s. I was like, and I knew the songs, but I was like, you're serious? That was, I think the 90s most popular song was Cotton Eye Joe. I'm not joking, guys. And then the other ones after that was sort of like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, just like stuff that like, I don't know, you sort of listen to, but like nobody really, like, it was weird. The 90s music was like reinventing itself, sort of, I felt like. And like I said, I don't know, there's just not a lot of music that I like or listen to or even really know or have heard like in pop culture. Like that's why like I've heard so much of like other music in pop culture, like movies, TV shows, like on the radio, like throwback stuff. Like I hear that kind of stuff somewhat often. The 90s did not have a lot of that. There was not a lot of music, honestly, that I can genuinely, and I know a lot of music, I can genuinely say that there was not a lot from the 90s that I'm like, yeah, I knew that song. Like, I know, like, some bands, again, like, my parents sort of still listened to music then. Like, it's sort of weird because, like, I was born in 95, and so, like, again, like, while I was growing up at the end part of the 90s, my parents were probably listening to Wheels on the Bus in the car while we were driving somewhere. So I was actually listening to music from the early 2000s, which was, like, my music, like, the music I grew up listening to. Again, not, like, a ton. I did listen to some, like when I was like little, like because my older cousin especially, she was like 2 years sort of older than me, and so like a lot of like Britney Spears and NSYNC and like that kind of stuff, like I listened to with her sometimes. It wasn't until I was probably a little bit older that, again, like when that stuff was maybe sort of coming out, I didn't really listen to it that much. It wasn't until I was probably a little bit older that I listened to it more. But yeah, it was just, I was listening to that from, like I said, the like 2000s stuff. My dad was saying like, oh, I listened to this band from the 90s or this band from the 90s. I was like, they like were sort of like in the 90s, but like a lot of it seemed like it was more like, and a lot of the songs were more popular in the 2000s of the stuff that my dad was like, no, 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 like there was good music that came out of the 90s, like I listened to this and that kind of stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay, but like I don't know, like I said, I was just sort of like going through it, and it was like popular, like top, you know, charts and stuff like that, and I was like, most of the stuff that I hear my dad listening to that he claims is from the 90s was really more popular, at least it seems like, from what Spotify too is also saying, and again, a little bit of fact checking that I've done, is it was more popular in the 2000s, like the stuff that actually, like early 2000s that my dad claims was the 90s. That's why I'm literally saying, like, not a lot of great stuff came out of, like, music came out of the 90s, I feel like. It was sort of a weird, like, music revolution, too. But the funny thing, guys, while I was listening to, like I said, all this like early 2000s music sort of, which was maybe a little bit more the later half. Like I probably was listening to music more when I was like in middle school, like late elementary school, like that I really like got into like listening to music, more of like the music that was popular, that kind of stuff, like in, like I said, the later 2000s. But, like listening to it, I really, and I didn't realize this before, was that so much of it sounds sort of like just reinvented rock a little bit, but not like 80s rock or like 90s rock. It was more like a sort of like, and you can hear it, definitely there's that transition too where it's turning into more rap, but it's still sort of rock. It was more of like rock that like made you feel something from the inside out, I guess, if that makes any kind of sense. It was more like an emotional sort of like rock music than it was just like very like loud like rock. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a little bit like calmer, but I can still hear it like in the music. And I, like I said, didn't really realize this when I was like in middle school listening to it. Now, because listening to music that is like today's music, which I very, very, very rarely ever actually listen to, just, I don't know, it sounds very like, it's definitely different from the stuff I listened to when I was in like middle school and high school and stuff like that. But it's weird to actually hear that transition of like, again, listening to more like 80s rock music sort of, and listening to stuff from 2000s, I can hear sort of that there is, and I think maybe that's where like the 90s was sort of like lost, like it didn't know what it was supposed to be, and like it was sort of fading out by 2000s and changed into this sort of like it was like skater rock music almost, I feel like the 2000s were. And so, and it was different than like sort of like the mosh pit music that was probably more like 90s and like the 80s even too, where it was like really like rock music. And so, yeah, like I said, but it's weird. I can like sort of hear that and I'm like, this isn't that far off from what like my parents listened to when they were in high school. I was like, this is sort of weird. And it's weird because I do hear that too. I'm like, the 60s doesn't sound all that different from some of the songs in music that was in the 80s. And it's, even though it's like a 2-decade sort of like in a full generational gap almost, it's not all that different. Like I said, it's very interesting to actually really listen to and really pay attention to like the sound. But I was also insanely surprised at how many lyrics, how much of the lyrics I actually still knew from music that I probably haven't actually heard in a decade. I was like, how can I still sing along to this? Like, my memory's so bad I can't remember what I went into the kitchen for, but I can remember lyrics from songs that I didn't hear from a decade ago. So yeah, guys, I need to take a shower and get to bed because once I was done making my jewel list, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna stay up now and just listen to more and more and more music, and I'm up way too late. And it was actually really good the last couple nights. I went to bed early. Not tonight, but I blame that on music's fault. Anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.